Good morning, everyone. This is Majors with Majors Academy Dog Training out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. And we're live on a few now. We're live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we are live on, we were live on Twitter. Okay. Live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. My name is Jeremy Majors with Academy Dog Training out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. And this is Dog Training Q&A number 259. We'll take your questions and we answer them to the best of our ability. Dog behavior. Feel free to ask any question that you. We will also be updating you guys on the dog in the kennel, and those are for the folks, the parents, the dog parents. But it also helps to break down the behaviors in the kennel, because a lot of people out there are struggling with the same issues. So feel free to interrupt me at all times, at any time. No question's a dumb question. And yeah, let's do this. Okay, so I also like to reflect on recent phone conversations I've had with people, because they also help. They also help with just knowing what's possible out there. So I'll just tell you. I'll start off by telling you my own conversation with this gentleman. It was the second conversation. So this gentleman had a dog, and it bit his friend pretty bad. And he calls me and just wondering if they had to put the dog down, what the possibilities are. Wanted to talk about training and what to do. Dog's only 2 years old, so young dog. But I'll tell you one thing that bothered me. These veterinarians tell people to put their dog down because they add in their little small room. That's fair to the dog. Every dog deserves a chance to really be understood, not misunderstood. And some dogs misunderstood in that small time of interaction. It's just not fair that veterinarians are recommending euthanasia in a setting that's not familiar to the dog, a stranger, which is the veterinarian, in a very enclosed environment, and then that stranger touches them right away. So it's really unfair as a dog. Some dogs that are miseducated, uneducated, they don't know what to do in situations like that. So same thing with owners. That's not necessarily the end all be all. That shouldn't be grounds for determining whether the dog lives or not. But what should happen is dogs spend a significant amount of time with a professional. Saying I'm getting the echo, huh? Okay, see how we can fix that. I'm not even sure how we fix that. Let's see. USB. Hello. Let me see. Hello. This USB. Give me a second. Okay. Everything seems to be all right on my end here. Hopefully it straightens itself out for you. Yeah, there's not much else I can do on my end. Is everyone else? Anybody else who's watching? Do you guys hear an echo or anything like that? Trying to see if I can adjust my sound here. Make sure everything's plugged in right. Hello. Anything get better? Let me see. Yeah, let me know if you guys can hear me better. That would be helpful. Hello. Anything get better? Yeah. So I'm not getting an echo on my end. Hopefully it got better for you, Don. All right. I'm gonna continue. Okay. Again, basically, guys, you should not. Your vet should not recommending euthanasia. Every dog deserves a chance at training. Every owner there's a chance to be educated about their dog and what their needs and boundaries rules should be. Every dog deserves that. You know, you don't get to know a dog truly unless they have that chance to have more options. Yeah, so like there's an echo on YouTube. If YouTube is acting like a fool, please and check out Facebook. You can. I don't know why or YouTube is giving me that. It just seems like Facebook is, but YouTube is being stubborn. So I apologize about that. I'm not sure what to do on my end. All right. So we'll continue again. Yeah. You know, I have a dog, and this kind of goes into the dog updates, but I have a named Tango right now. Husky, the color markings German Shepherd. And if you'd asked me the first day I met him, and just evaluated the dog the first day I met him, this dog was like we need this dog should probably, if you only had one day, then this dog would probably be a candidate for being euthanized, because it was just everywhere, absolutely nuts, dog aggressive, and just his mind just like everywhere. My mind, though, it's a typical husky, and he just wants to go. First, they need a heavy regime of exercise. But now I've had this dog for a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now. The dog is really calming down and starting to engage with me, as opposed to just engaging with the environment like this. You know, just like, even though, you know, I definitely taught this dog to be a treadmill, because it needs that extra. It should be a sled dog. That's what I told the owner. It should be a daggum sled. This dog is ready to go, wanting to go on his tippy toes. You know, I used to run a dog. When I used to walk dogs in Atlanta, I used to run this particular dog named Neville, and he was a husky, and he was just the same way, just, you know, on tippy toes, just would run and run. It was awesome. So, guys, those of you who are watching and who can hear me, I apologize for those who can't. Ask me any questions that you like about your dog. No question is a bad question, and know that your question will also help out others who are struggling with the same issue. Okay, so yeah, you can't rule a dog out within a 10-minute interaction at your veterinarian. So don't let that ever discourage you. Even a friend, family will tell you, you know, put the dog down, but it's just not true, and it's not fair. Especially if the dog is very young, they deserve a chance to be evaluated properly with enough time and then we can determine if the dog is safe for the community or not. But also be in the fact that 99% of dogs that I train are and can be safe for the family, the house, the community, and what have you. So I am very careful about throwing that euthanasia word out without really getting to know the dog. And most people know 90% of the time the dog is fine. You know, if a dog was trying to take over, you know, and dominate everyone and everything in their life, just a straight up terror, then maybe we and some people will think that. So I should probably be careful about saying that. But some people, but then maybe we can consider it. But I've got that Lhasa Apso that's up for adoption that was rising their house, kind of. I mean, at night, he wouldn't allow them to pick the dog up. He wouldn't. He wouldn't allow his owners to come up. He would also bite at their feet if they walked past him wrong and that. And they called me and they were saying, "Yeah, we live in fear of this dog, and we're getting ready to have a family, and we can't have this dog here." So I am fostering this dog, and yet again, you know, they contacted me again, and they asked me, you know, how the dog's doing. Did we make the right choice? And I had to let them know that, hey, dog, you know, with boundaries that are suitable for this dog. Dog is fine. Here's the key on if I can help anyone or any dog. There's always remedial behaviors that allowed that you can with. And you guys know I've been saying this for a long time because I ask everyone the same question to get that same information. But I'll do it again for those of you who are new. If your dog jumps on you or on yours, if your dog pulls on leash, if your dog follows you around the house, if your dog is at your feet or for food begging you eat, if your dog doesn't when called and not trusted a leash, if you can't do your dog's nails, if you can't clean your dog's ears, if your dog's from inside the house at other dogs, UPS men, Amazon, doesn't matter. Then we've got plenty to work with. And so when I hear that those things, I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't be put down. Absolutely not. There's plenty to work with to that will eliminate the aggression if you working on those things that I mentioned. So yeah, YouTube, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, guys. YouTube seems to be echoing pretty bad. Head on over to Facebook or Instagram. We are live there. And it seems to be better. I don't know what the heck is going on with YouTube, bro. It's never usually like that. That's because I want YouTube to be working. I can't disconnect and reconnect live here. So, all right. Got a first question here. Here we go. It says we've had our newest rescue for 4 months. She's just over a year old. During a walk, our older dog became reactive to another dog, which escalated our rescue to a full reaction, thrashing and yelling. I used a prong collar to regain control, and during the struggle, she bit my looking for suggestive guidance on how to move forward with her. She does not sleep in her bed or access to furniture. Okay. Yeah, so she should get a consequence for biting you. What you're dealing with is barrier frustration. and then you are unfortunately the outlet of that barrier frustration. Make sure that she is healing next to you very well. Also, walk her by herself without the other dog. And if you feel that she is getting ready to react, what you do is you've got to make sure again that she is healing very well. Now, it could be your attempt to get her to heal, but also makes her more frustrated. So you might need to use a different to get her to heal, to get her to just think about something else. But sometimes some dogs with leash pressure, if not layered with your voice and electronic collar, they can become defensive or more reactive with just the e-collar or with just the prong collar and leash. So you have to add more layers. Add your voice pressure. Your voice pressure should go up. Hey, time to talk to you. Heal. And really concentrate on getting the dog to heal. So add your voice pressure and also add your e-collar pressure. You can even start with the vibrate, but something to maybe just make her think other than the leash pressure. Also, you can do more healing in the house. So she should be right out of the crate on a leash and a prong to again start just adding different contexts as opposed to just using the prong collar on a walk, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's a lot of that I have worked with over the years that are reactive in that way when they get so worked up that they bite the nearest dog or the nearest person. One time I had a German Shepherd, and we're working some protection where this dog would get so frustrated it would bite the nearest anything and it chew on this wood. But it's all that anxiety trying to get released, and so yeah, you just the way to work through that is to reach her with your voice and really can talk to her, and you can raise your voice. I have a problem with that, but your message should be, I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to get you to heal. Also, you can use the back of foot to tap her leg, so again, just get her thinking about something. But you will need, most likely you will need something else to reach her in addition to the prong collar. Now, I'm not saying you have to, throw the prong collar out, but it needs to be layered with other things. All right. That makes sense. I appreciate your question. Feel free to ask another. Okay, how do we get this off? Here we go. Feel. All right, those of you who are on YouTube, I apologize if there's still a certain echo. I'm not sure what to do here on my end, but we are live on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm hoping that those streams are a little bit better. But yeah, you who are watching, please feel free to ask any question you like. I kind of gave you an update on Tango. He is really come a long way. I love where he's at, because he just finally goes into the kennel and he just is down and relax, as opposed to his separation anxiety was real bad, and he just would not stop moving. I mean, this dog, his brain was just like, I think some dogs think so much that they deteriorate their body. I think training is so important because of mindset. Just get rid of dogs' anxiety for their benefit. Get rid of it. Let them work through it. Give them tools in order for them to not have to be anxious. Because I think that anxiety shortens their lifespan. It really puts a lot of toll on their joints just because they feel like they have to be doing something because of their anxiety is pulling them to do. And it's like, if you train your dog to do nothing, to be calm, problem. I'm willing to bet it adds years to their lives. And you know, a lot of dogs, ACL tears, hips, they really go south over time if they're having this level of anxiety be, you know, their way of living every single day. So that's why training is so important, because it gives them a calmer day-to-day life in general, relaxes you, which relaxes the household. And ultimately, again, we should have the thinking that we want our dog to be enjoyed by the community, not something that the community doesn't want to have in their neighborhood. So training, guys, training or medication. These veterinarians are really throwing medications for anxiety all the day. I mean, and I haven't really seen a case where it actually works. It just doesn't really. But it's hard on their stomachs too. So you want to get them the heck off it. You know, training is expensive and it's an investment, but it really helps. All right. So let's move on to Moose. Moose is, I would say, he's a weird one. He's a overthinker. He doesn't trust anybody else but himself for the most part, which is why he came to me. He was nipping anybody else except his owner was up for nips, and the owner's mom, I think, was cool with. But it's all up to him, and that's not good. That's dangerous for a dog to be able to choose who they nip or who they don't, who they get with or who they don't. It shouldn't be that way, because you're playing with fire. You're taking the chance. Oh, let's see if he likes you. No, that's not a good way to go about introducing your fearful dog to other people. Oh, let's see if he likes you. Dumb. Instead, you should take your time to take control of the dog. You should make sure your dog is listening. Make a checklist. Does the dog jump? Because jumping can come from a place of insecurity. Does the dog bark inside the house? Same thing. Does it pull on leash? Insecurity. The dog not allow you to bark, follow you around the house? Insecurity. Does the dog allow you to put it on its side so that you can do nails, or you can, you know, does it trust you enough basically to be put in a vulnerable position, belly up, when it doesn't want to, not when it just wants belly rubs? Does the dog stop barking when you say quiet? So if you doesn't have just a few of those things, you usually introducing your dog to other people, because dog doesn't even have trust in you to safely introduce to other people. So I'm gonna make a checklist for people to start chipping away at, and if you chip at that list, the world for the dog opens up. And so yeah, he's a tough. He gets scared of everything type dog, and my goal is to get him to trust me as much as possible. He's awesome with dogs though. Moose is awesome with dogs. He's like, you know, a dog never done him. So he's really friendly with other dogs and really enjoys other dogs. He's a dominant dog though. He's one of those dominant friendly dogs. Doesn't, so I say that meaning he doesn't try to dominate other dogs. He doesn't necessarily show submissive behavior to other dogs, which is a little on the unbalanced side, but not the worst thing in the world. Okay. So then we have Walter. Walter is also another dog who needs to be pushed as far as. Let me go back to Walter for it. Walter's fear is pretty strong, and I know that because when I work the place command, every time I get up, move, he wants to go back to his most safe place for him is his kennel, and so I have to put him back in that down position on his bed on the command. And I move, I clean, I do all the things because he shouldn't be impulsive when it comes to just regular things, right? We want to work him through what he will have to face when he goes home, some of the things, and him be guided through it. So that's what I do with him. Yeah, I have to dig deeper with him because I want him to trust me more. I want him to take my advice versus his own. So I have a stranger to him come to the kennel today, and I want to see all the dogs, but his action in particular, so that we can help him through that. It's going to be his, it's going to sort of what he has to be faced with when he gets back home. But in the magic is we'll make that checklist, and we'll start chipping away at that checklist. That's checklist. That's what I should call it. And then once we get a good hold on the trust checklist, then we can start introducing him to people if we like. Okay, so I want to dig into that a little bit. I know I'm going off on a little tangent, but that's okay. So what I mean by that is after training, people want people to know what exactly to expect. So after training, I usually tell people for a month, it should just be you and that dog, and you should start chipping away at the checklist. And based on how well you do chipping away at that checklist, the no jumping, the no barking, the no pulling on leash, coming called, go to your bed when you tell them to, no couch time, no play time inside, and make sure in the dog's proper exercise. Once you're doing that, once you got a good hold of that, once they're listening to you well, now you can start introducing other things because the dog is trusting you good. Okay, you have tools to get the dog to respond to you when you need the dog to respond to you. But you can't just train and get the dog back and start flooding it with people, strangers, kids, the things that they were afraid of. That would be bad because the dog has got to still see you as the leader. The dog has got to trust you like he trusts me. When you get the dog back, come and get your dog. I just had happen to me a couple of days ago. I sent a dog home. Oh, it was a golden doodle, and the were just like, oh my god, different dogs, so calm. Even when I brought the dog out to meet them, and they having the dog for three weeks. The dog, I always tell people, dogs don't go nuts, and it's okay because I haven't seen you for 3 weeks. But even that episode was not as crazy as used to seeing. So they were like, man, this dog is different already. And I'm like, well, you ain't seen nothing yet. I mean, because it's going nuts. I hadn't seen you for 3 weeks. And they're like, well, even this go nuts is a lot less crazy. Okay, So, um, so there was a stranger 2 doors down walking down the up and down the driveway, and they were like, "Oh my God, this dog has just not reacted to that. It was at our house. This dog would go nuts." So I say that to say, I will prove to you that your dog has the ability to do what you didn't think it was able to do. And again, that trusts me enough to not go and react that way, right? And hopefully learn that it doesn't have. But then it has to also see that same consistency from you guys again before you start adding new things to their or add new people, kids, new dogs, new places, etc. So it's all about getting the dog's trust, working that thing, getting the dog to really listen. I don't take no for an answer. I'm going to make your dog listen and make sure the dog does not do anything disrespectful. And then it's up to you guys to continue to maintain that trust that I've built, because it's not about it is about who is holding the leash, but it's also about how you hold the leash, if that makes sense. So if the person holding the leash knows the system, the dog responds to the training system, not necessarily who the person is, because you can have a stranger work dog well if they know the system. So, for example, I'll have, again, a guest over today who knows my system, who's going to have to let my dog out on Saturday. And because I've taught her how to use and how to let these dogs, she will be okay because the dogs will respond to the system more so than who the person is. All right. We got another question. Okay, love the idea of the checklist. I think pretty good job. Pretty good, except for Joe will not keep Brody off the bed at night. I know Joe is selfish. Brody does get so excited and jump when he getting ready for walks. I put him on his place and wait for him to settle, often 15 minutes, which is exhausting and frustrating. Yeah. So what I would do is a couple of things. I put the leash on and the prong collar on. I'd put the dog down, put the prong collar on, and then ignore him. If he, and let's see what he does. The only thing I want you to do is if he comes to you is to tell him to go. But I want you. I also, so in addition to putting the leash on and leaving on, I also want you to do that. And after you come home from walk, leave it on as well. Try that. Trying to think of something else too. You just gotta make it not. Just gotta make it not the same routine every time. Dog anxiety can get caught up in the same routine every time because it's too predictable. So you want to throw some inconsistencies in there, and I know that on surface level sound counterproductive, but it's that anticipation that of the same thing that really gets them going. So I would say put the leash on him. Don't put him on his bed either anymore, because that probably fosters the anxiety more. Love to see what he does if you put the leash on and prong collar on, and you just ignore him for the 15 minutes, as opposed to trying to keep him in the spot. Because remember, when you do dogs in place, some dogs, it can foster the anxiety. it can it trap the anxiety. So I like when I talk about certain things, I like to give the dog the most choices, and I only require one thing out of the dog, which is sometimes you got to listen to no or leave them. But I don't want to put you in place because the dog will anticipate next thing too much. So you can also put the dog in place, but then not take the dog for a walk at all, with the leash and prong on. Again, you just want to melt away some of that what the leash means in its entirety. So try that, Don. Let me know how that goes, because it's very interesting to me. But yeah, you got zap away some of that walk time, like so. Yeah, and I can think of some other stuff too, because there's always a different way to stop that anticipation. So yeah, let me know how that goes. You got me thinking. I love that. Okay. Next one. Speaking of consistency, I know this can be practiced throughout the day, but do you also recommend setting aside dedicated training time each day? If so, how long? No, I don't really like that. Know that it helps. Case in point, which brings me to next dog update. So thank you for that. I'll just explain to you how training can be bad. Yeah. All right. So training, it can be bad because it's not real life. So because training is predictable. Training is separate from behavior. Behavior. Training that encompasses, so behavior and training have really separated. A lot of trainers think that training sessions, sit down, stay on your bed, they aren't optimum. And I'm not saying they're useless, but they aren't optimum because I think a lot of people they do a lot of training, then that the dog deserves the free time, the what would in a dog's mind seem or not in a dog's mind, but it would dominant. It would be considered a dominant thing. So I think maybe some people are caught up in, okay, I go to training, and then when I get home, heck yeah, the dog can be on the couch. I went to training, or heck yeah, the dog can do things that would lead to behavior problems because they maybe are validating their training. I've got a dog named Walter, and I've seen these dogs over the past. This dog Walter can do agility. This dog has its CGC. This dog Walter, has these titles, but yet still has the attitude that I can nip children. And so, and it's just like maybe it'll be a little confusing. It's like I put all this time in this dog, and then he bit my child in the face. Hell, man. You know, that seems like, well, what else am I supposed to do here? And so you see that those two worlds are really like go like this. You know, training. There's intense training, and then there's behaviorists. And so I would say I'm a behaviorist trainer because I only focus on what we have to do with the dog already. And my training is subject to that. I don't believe that people should necessarily be spending a lot of time going to classes and having these training sessions, because if you have a dog who is very, very respectful, you won't necessarily care about teaching the dog down, stay. It's not that they're useful, don't get me wrong, but would you rather have a dog who's super smart and can do it versus a dog who's super chill and relaxed and anxiety free and doesn't jump and doesn't bite and doesn't beg and is just a loving dog that people enjoy? Opposed to, okay, you get these treats out and you watch this dog do these performing things. And for my clients, and even for myself, I prefer a dog that behaves well, that I can take to places, that I can include in my life. I don't have to worry about none of that crap. And so this is a long-winded answer for your question, so I apologize, but it won't hurt. Okay, it won't hurt necessarily. I don't want you to take that train and think that, okay, I'm putting in the work. Why is my dog still acting like an asshole? Because there are people who step foot in a class, never even their dog on a leash, really, but yet the dog is very, very social with other dogs, children, and other people. How? Well, because they have that behavior side to it, which in large part what Cesar Millan really helped bring to the forefront, which is your dog will respect you. And that respect can be the thing that gets your dog to really consider you, as opposed to react and not consider. So, yeah, it's very important that you just understand that if we're caught in wanting to love on them and not holding their behavior accountable, then it doesn't matter how much time you spend training. Sometimes stuff is just like null and void in a way. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question. Again, it won't hurt. It's not the most thing, and it's not important, but it's the most important thing. Most important is you can take your dog off leash, and the dog listen to you with 100% certainty. Ask it. Go ahead. If you have a question, please feel free to ask. Interrupt. Please do. We love questions. So yeah, it's just it's important that you can have that relationship, that bond with your daughter. They know to follow you. They know the safest is wherever you go. despite dogs, squirrels, anything. And if you don't have that, you got work to do.
Look for areas where they're afraid and help them through that.
If they're afraid of the vacuum, through that will get them better off leash. Isn't that crazy? If your dog is afraid of whatever, help them through it. So all right. Yes, feel free to ask any more questions you can think of. We'll be here for a little bit more time. And yeah, this has been a cool conversation. There's a difference between training and behaviors that really resonate with me. Thank you. I'm looking forward to your checklist. I've got yes, absolutely. Something together, and I will probably post it on Facebook, and so you guys can watch out for that. American people, some Americans call them as African American. This is a dog training Q&A, buddy. I don't know. That's not a question I'm going to answer on this platform. You got a dog question? Free to ask. But yeah. Yeah. So Walter is super smart, overthinker. Same deal. Different dog. To me, in my mind, they need time to control their impulses, man. Impulsive dogs will. Yeah, they will. They'll bite. Pushy dogs will bite. Separation anxiety dogs will bite. Controlling dogs, jumping, barking. They'll bite. Don't be surprised. Some people are shocked. I thought he wouldn't. Well, let me see. Does he do this, and this? Okay, yes. So you should be surprised. Also, here's the other guys. This caller was concerned the dog would turn on him one day to help him understand that just because a dog does something like that, I've never had a dog turn on me. Again, that checklist is so important to ensure safety, right? Nothing's ever 100%, but I have never had a dog turn on me, and I've never had a dog try and bite me after they spent a couple of days with me. Couple. So these dogs respect very, very early on, very quickly. That's awesome for us. Because think about if it wasn't like that. Think about it if like week 2, or week 3, the dog decided to bite me. That make things be like, well, okay, different. That I can't predict. Got to start thinking about something else. These dogs, I don't have any bite marks on me or anything like that. Any scars or anything like that. So I know that the dog doesn't have the ability not to do it. And they like me. They're not, sent home being afraid or anything like that. They end up, as a matter of fact, most dogs, when they go say hi to their owners, they'll come back, circle back, and need to pet them. So it's awesome. It's probably the awesome part of this whole thing is that, yes, you can tough love, but love is still there. And that's amazing. If it wasn't there, man, it would be heartbreaking. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna hop off on here. I appreciate you guys' question. Please like, and or if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe and like the video. It just helps more people see it. And the more people that see it, more people I can help, and more lives I can save. Actually, so those pesky veterinarians don't start telling people to put their dog down on after 5 minute meeting of after they poked them with stuff, after they've prodded them and kept them in a small. So, all right, we'll see you guys next week, same time. See you later.